All right, seniors, both in Brit Lit and World Lit, here is another video to help you through step number 3, assignment number 3 of the career research career research project, the career research outline. Now, this assignment is the meat of what you're having to do this week. Expect this to take a while. If you work on one of these at a time, you could finish one a day, and it would be plenty of work for you because it will be an easy 15 to 30, maybe even more than that, minutes to finish each part, each career that you're talking about here, and you're doing 3 of them. So do not try to sit down and knock this out in 15 minutes because it's not going to happen and you're going to do really poorly on it. Anyway, so we start here and it says number 1, open the attached doc entitled Career Research Outline. It is your own copy, so edit it as needed. So I open it up here. Yours, when you open it up, will actually have your name up here in front of it, and it should have a turn-in sign over here, and you can read the directions here, but make sure you notice it says make sure you complete the outline for each of your 3 possible careers. Career number 1, find all this information. Career number 2, find the same information. Career number 3, find the same information. The worst one will be the first one. After you've got that one out of the way, you'll find it easier to do the other 2. I'm going to try to go through all of these for the first of my careers, and I'm going to move quickly, so you will perhaps need to pause this video every once in a while you go through it. I would not watch this entire video and then go back and try to complete the assignment. I would watch the first part here and then go back and complete that part. Okay, so to help you with this, I'm going to go and I'm going to open up my example that I did here. Okay, and this is an example using the anthropologist page on both on My Next Move and also on the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So let me pull you over here so you can see what I'm looking at. So here is my example. When you get finished, yours will look something like this, except you're going to do it 3 times. Okay. I would like for you to notice, though, almost every bit of this is copied and pasted, so it did not take nearly as much effort as it looks like it took. So I'm going to show you where to get every one of these pieces of information. Some of them come from the My Next Move page, as you can see here, and some of them come from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So go ahead and open up the first of your career pages that you bookmarked for the previous part of the assignment. I'm going to pull mine up. So my example that I have been using is anthropologist, and it looks like this. Okay, so you got the career, you got lots of information here: personality, technology, education, job outlook is bright, and you got the pay here and everything. This has a lot of information that you'll use for this, but it doesn't have everything. So I also want you to go back to Google Classroom, to the assignment, and I want you to click down here on the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And when you do, it will look like this. Okay. And I want you to actually click right here and type in the same thing that you have up here for your career. So I'm going to type in anthropologist, and you can see I've already typed it before, so it's there already. And then click search. And it's going to bring up several hits, probably. Okay. It may come up with something different. For instance, I've typed in anthropologist and mine says anthropologist and archaeologist. You may type in police officer and it may come up with law enforcement officer or detective. You may type in doctor and it may come up with physician. You have to use a little bit of common sense. There's only so far that listening to me can take you. If your profession, your career that you're looking at is known by more than one name, you need to learn what those names are. Okay, so this is my page. Click on it and it takes me to this. This is what you're looking for to use with the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Occupational Outlook Handbook. If you can't find one of these, if you try really hard and you can't find one of these, then go up here and look for publications. Click on this and notice it says Occupational Outlook Handbook. You can click on that and it will take you to this thing where you can actually search the handbook. So you click there and type your profession in there and see if an Occupational Outlook Handbook comes up for it. Again, you have to use some common sense in whether it's the same profession or not. If you really can't find anything, then you may have to change your mind on what profession you're looking at, or you may just have to go look for information somewhere else. You are not required to use either one of the two sources that I'm giving you here. You can always go and find your own. I'm just trying to make it as easy for you as I possibly can. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my page, anthropologist. I'm going to keep that there for a second and go back to. Okay, so your first part of your outline, when you look at it, says name of career field and reasons for studying this particular career. This stuff comes from your own head. Put the name of the career here and then type the reasons for studying it right there. Pause this video right now and go ahead and do that for your first career. And I'd go ahead and do it for your second and third career too, because it's something you need to be thinking about. So go ahead and take care of that. Start the video back up whenever you're ready. Okay, so you should have that done by now. So then we're going to move on to the duties of the career. Now, the first two of these, general duties and specific duties, can be right here on your My Next Move page. So for any profession that you put on here, your general duties can be found right here. You can literally copy and paste this paragraph right here over into your outline, as you can see that I have done right here. That's it. This right here is exactly the same thing that I just highlighted. Okay, so do that. And then for specific duties, go back over and it is right beside it here. Now, let me warn you, if you try to copy and paste all of these bullet items together, it's going to really mess up your formatting. So if I were you, I would copy one of them, and it's easier to copy by hitting Control C and then go back over to your and paste that one right there and then put a period at the end of it and leave your cursor right there and go back over and select the second one, Control C to copy, go back to your outline, and so forth and so on. Control V will paste. So if you learn Control C and Control V, you'll make quick work of this. Next, the hours of work ordinarily required. Now you can look all over. This is C right here. You can look all your My Next Move page, and you probably will not find anything about the hours usually worked. So where you go to find that is over your Occupational Outlook Handbook. So click that Bureau of Labor Statistics page. Okay, and if you click on then notice all these tabs. If you click on this tab that says Work Environment and scroll down, there should be something about work schedules down here. Okay, that work schedule tells you how many hours you will work. Now, if your page does not have a work schedule section under this tab Work Environment, it's because your profession works a regular 40-hour a week Monday through Friday schedule. So you would just go over to hours worked and see, and you would write out beside it a 40-hour work week Monday through Friday. Okay, but if it has anything about work schedules under here, pay attention to it. So this first sentence says that many anthropologists and archaeologists work full-time during business hours. So I copied that, and as you can see over here, I pasted it right there. And notice I'm literally copying and pasting these things. I am not even changing the formatting really. The only thing I'm doing is some of them I'm bold facing so that I can tell the difference. Okay. The next thing it says is there anything unusual about the number of hours or nature of the work schedule which might relate to this job field? If there isn't, then put nothing unusual. It's that simple. But if you look at your your Occupational Outlook Handbook and look at the Work Environment tab and you see a sentence that has anything about unusual working hours, then that's what you need to put there. When doing field work, however, anthropologists and archaeologists may be required to travel and to work many and irregular hours, including evenings and weekends. So that's definitely unusual. So I take it back over and put it after D. And notice I just copied and pasted again. So pause the video right now, go through and find your general duties and specific duties on the My Next Move pages, and go through and find your hours of work ordinarily required, and if there's anything unusual on your Bureau of Labor Statistics page. Okay, pause the video now. Okay, now you should be back. Next, we're going to move on to qualifications of workers in this field. First of all, gender and age requirements. Most likely, whatever career you're choosing does not have any gender or age requirements, but you need to double check both of your pages just to make sure. If there are any gender requirements, they would be on your My Next Move pages somewhere in here, but I don't think you're going to find anything about it. No age requirements either. If you do, though, make sure you note them. And then for Occupational Outlook Handbook on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, you would probably look under this tab because it's how to become one, as in what qualifications do you have to become one. And you probably won't find anything else under there, but just make sure that you don't find anything, especially look down here under important qualities and see if any of these are things that qualify as age or gender requirements. Okay. If you don't find anything, then you simply type no gender requirements and no age requirements. Next is health and physical. The best place to find health and physical is to go back up to the Occupational Outlook Handbook, the same tab that I just sent you to, how to become one, and scroll down to the bottom, look through education, other experience, that's nothing physical, but down here under important qualities, mine says physical stamina. Anthropologists and archaeologists working in the field may need to hike or walk several miles while carrying equipment to a research site. That qualifies as a physical requirement, so I had to copy and paste that. If you see anything there, or if you see something somewhere else on the page, then make sure you put it under physical requirements. Next, personality. Okay, this one's easy because if you go to My Next Move, you will see, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see, hey, a personality tab. So again, I would not just copy and paste this whole thing because it'll mess your formatting up. So I would copy and paste this part first, copy that all together, take it over there and paste it. So hit Control C after you've selected, go back over to your outline, hit Control V beside personality. Okay, and then I would either type these individually or copy and paste them individually as bullet points. So if you look up my page, my outline, you can see that's exactly what I did. I just went back and copied, or actually I just typed all these out because that was faster. Maybe faster for you to copy and paste, I don't know. Okay, and then experience. Again, you'll find experience on the My Next Move page. Same tab, how to become one, and it says other experience. So I copied and pasted. If you don't see anything on this tab anywhere, if you read all of this stuff under education, if you read this whole tab and there's nothing about experience on here, then you'd go over to your outline and you would literally just type no experience required. But if you see anything under any that's called experience at all, you copy and paste it just like I did here. Moving on. Aptitudes. Aptitudes are the abilities that you don't necessarily have to have them to be good at a career, but if you do have them, you're probably going to be better at that career than others. The easiest place to find that here on, well, let me pull it over there, is either here on My Next Move, where you've got skills and abilities, these things right here in general, or again, if you look at the Occupational Outlook Handbook on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, these qualities down here, these also qualify. So whichever one you want to use those. You do not have to use all of them. You can either use these or you can use the ones on My Next Move. Next. And notice that I copied and pasted by bullet point. I did not try to copy all those at once. I copied them one at a time. Next, you got two more, education and other. Education is general level and type required. This one's a piece of cake. Go and look down at the bottom of the page, and it says education right here. Master's degree or doctoral degree for me, so I copied and pasted that right there over onto my outline. You can do the same. And go back to your outline. When you get back to your outline, it asks you other. This is basically anything else that you think is a good skill, a good trait to have as the to get to be good at this particular profession, this particular career, that does not fit into any of these other qualifications. Okay, so all of these basic skills, problem solving, people and technology systems, all of those came the other sections here on My Next Move. So they came here from these basic skills right here. Okay, you could also use some of these knowledge skills here, and also some of these technology skills, whatever you think is the most important to you. Common sense, use a little bit of your own discretion. And then last but not least, you got earnings. It asks you how much can you expect to make from this career at the beginning for the average, and exceptional, which would be when you've been in the career for a long time and you got a lot of experience. And then it asks what expenses might you have to meet following this career. This part is really easy. Go back over, next move. Scroll down to the bottom. This is your beginning salary. This is your average salary. This would be your exceptional salary. So you can literally just use those three numbers like I did. And then for the other part, what expenses might you have to meet? You might see something about expenses here. I don't know. I've never seen anything about them. But you can also go over to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And if there's going to be anything about you having to pay for something, an expense that you would have, it would be either under what they do here, under their duties and that kind of thing, or it would be under work environment. So look under those two tabs. And if you don't see anything about it, then use a little bit of common sense. Think about it. You know, if you're going to be a teacher, are you going to have to pay for anything? Yeah, you are. Okay. If you're going to be a doctor, are you going to have to pay for anything? Depends on whether you're working for a hospital or self-employed. If you're self-employed, yes, clearly you're going to have to pay for some stuff. If you're working for the hospital, no, the hospital will probably provide it for you. If you're going to be a nurse, you'll probably have to buy your own scrubs if you want cool looking scrubs, that kind of thing. So think that kind of stuff through. And if you know someone who's in the career already, ask them if they have to pay for any of their own stuff. Now, that took me a grand total of 18 minutes to finish that while I was talking to you. And I'm completely finished with one career. That should take you about that long, maybe a little bit longer. So don't try to do all three of these at once unless you've got a nice 2-hour block carved out that you can get all of them done at once. Otherwise, it's going to get on your nerves very quickly. They get on your nerves anyway, but it is very necessary for you to get a good grade on this. And this is the biggest part of the grade for this week. So make sure you take this seriously. If you have any questions about this, you can email me. But as you can see, it was pretty complex for me to go back and forth between all those tabs. So the better idea would be, if you still don't understand something, to find out on Friday, get up early on Friday, like 10 o'clock or so, and make sure that you check and see when the Google Meet for that day is scheduled, and be at that Google